What is going on, Aries? Welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazi, your favorite Cali reader. So this is going to be your what is your next major turning point or major event? It could be, typically when things that happen in our life that are major, it does typically serve as a turning point for us. Obviously it's going to be different for all of you as it is a general reading, so just keep that in mind. But that is the intention for this reading at this time. So I have a few sets of cards here. So we're starting off with what is your next major turning point or major event. How is it benefiting you? How is it challenging you? Some advice from spirit, and then we're breaking it down a little bit further into that with the tarot. So I hope y'all are doing well. It is the beginning of the new year for those of you that celebrate January 1st being the new year. For me, as a reader, upon further research and opening up, continuing to expand and seek the truth, the new year is actually the beginning of the spring equinox, which happens to be March 19th. So for me, that's when I celebrate the new year now. So but we're just talking about the next major event for the current season. So I'm guided to do these readings for each season going forward, and just see how it plays out. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I really hope that you gain some clarity, some insight that maybe you didn't know you needed. Whatever you need this reading to be for you, I pray that you found it here. Okay, so let's get into this. So let's see. So just before I start though, looking at the bottoms of the decks that I've used that you guys are not seeing, I really feel like for those of you that are feeling maybe a bit tired, that is not normal. Okay, that is another reason why, let me just say real fast, why this is really not the true new year, is because January 1st is not. Because if you think about it, if we're looking at the ecosystem, looking at nature, everything is dead at this time. Everything's in hibernation, and that's what we should be as well, right? So when we are in alignment with the universe, when we are in alignment with Mother Nature, right, with Gaia, you'll typically see that our plans should be falling in line with that as well. So a lot of people that make New Year's resolutions, they typically fall off, or they don't follow through, or it's short-lived, and that's typically why, because we're doing things where it's like planting seeds in winter and then wonder why they're not growing, right? So it's the same type of thing. So I feel like for those of you guys specifically are being asked to do that for yourself at this time, especially given you guys are very independent, energetic, high intensity, and getting things done type of sign. I feel like it's really important for you guys to get your rest at this time, and we'll get into further about why. But like I said, just looking at the bottoms of the decks, meaning the energy you don't currently see, this is why. Okay, because we have Tower at the bottom of this deck, followed by the World, followed by the Fool. Okay, so I feel like you guys, and these are three major arcanas, by the way, automatically. So I feel like you guys are definitely coming into a period where things are about to shake up in a major way for you guys, not only because of the majors, which represent the major arcanas that represent events in our life that are inevitable. They're going to happen one way or another. It's just a matter of how you let it, how well you're able to go with the flow of it when these things do start occurring. Because towers, typically mean, some people will think that it's bad, but it doesn't always have to be. It's just really uncomfortable. But this is typically, things that it's inevitable. Something was going to fall apart. It was bound to end because it wasn't built on a solid foundation in the first place, whether it was a plan, an establishment, an environment, a job, whatever it is. Okay, things are about to change in a major way for you guys. And I feel like for some of you, it's been like, it could have been a long time coming, where it's you guys are finally closing out a cycle. And I feel like for those of you that have been maybe avoiding this, you can no longer avoid it anymore. It's like the universe for some of you is like literally pushing you into a new world, into a new cycle. And I feel like for some of you are really being asked at this time, with the time for a nap, followed by orphaned. Some of you are really feeling by yourself at this time, maybe isolated, and it's really more so to help you recuperate your energy, because like I said, you guys are going to need it. Okay, and the reason being is because after that we have victory. Okay, so I definitely feel like you guys are stepping into a period where all of your hard work is going to be really paying off, and so spirit is essentially trying to assist you with preparing for that. Okay, really assist you with getting ready for the blessings that are about to come into your experience. I feel like some of you have really gone through some very challenging, and for some of you tumultuous times, where it's like you've been asking, like, when is this going to change? I've been doing the work. I've been, you know, patient. I've been taking action. I've been making the plans. I've been showing up. You know what I'm saying? It's like some of you are just like waiting for the payout, and you're like, what the fuck's, what is the delay at this point, Spirit? Like, I don't understand. What is the delay? So I feel like some of you are really in this energy right now of being guided to rest up. So if you don't have the energy you need to take action right now, please don't be hard on yourself. That is, it's in divine alignment the way things are playing out right now. So just prepare yourself, because like I said, things are about to start shifting in a very major way. And I say that not only obviously because of the Tower, but like I said, because your major arcanas in the tarot represent events that are inevitable, that are just essentially a major part of our life and experience, right? So, and that's even before we even get into your next actual major turning point. Okay, so for that we have the Emperor. Okay, so some of you Aries, this is your energy stepping back into your power in a major way, right? So whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. This is the energy, a frequency that we all encapsulate, embody. So I feel like for you Aries, this is you really feeling back in your power. For some of you, it's been like I said, a long time coming, where, you know, cycles that have been maybe long overdue, that maybe you've been trying really, really hard to close out, those are finally closing out for you, and in a very successful way, where you're you know, now gonna see for sure, like, damn, like I've been questioning myself the whole time, not realizing all the things that you've been experiencing, and the delays and setbacks, seemingly so, right, were really just gapping, they're just bridging the gap to your actual desires. So I feel like some of you Aries are really being positioned to really be full force back in your power in a major way. Okay, now this could also simply be talking about, you know, you being back in your power in full alignment with your head and your heart, all being on the same page, knowing exactly where you're going, what you're doing. But for others of you, this can also represent coming into some form of success. So some of you could be, you know, quitting a job. Some of you may be getting fired from a job, and you may be taking it really personally. Some of you are really like, dude, like I put in all these years, all this investment, all the work I've been doing. Trust me, it is not in vain. But for some of you, it's just, it was preparing you ultimately, you know, kind of like training, so to speak, like hands-on training for you to essentially be your own boss. So for some of you, you may be you may have gotten fired. That could be something that's coming up, where it could feel major in the moment, but it's also a time for you to realize how this essentially is helping you, how it's really, you know, positioning you to really take back control of your life in a major way, because that's also what the Emperor represents, is, you know, not only being in your power, but being in the driver's seat of your own life, of your own experience. And some of you, you know, there's things that are crashing at this time, but it's ultimately positioning you to be back in full swing and full control of yourself. Okay, and, you know, your destiny ahead. So let's keep going. So how this, trying to think how I want to do this, if I want to go across or or go down. Let's go down. So clarifying your next major turning point, we have the Emperor. So clarifying that is the King of Wands, beautiful, with the Five of Wands. Okay, so like I said, some of you, this is really stepping back into your power, especially if you've been feeling conflicted, or it feels like people have been kind of like competing with you, challenging you on purpose. I feel like it's really ultimately putting you in your power, putting you in a position to really take action in a way that maybe you have not before. For some of you, especially if you feel like people just keep coming at me, people keep, you know, trying to test my patience and all that, understand that's part of the training that some of you are experiencing with this Five of Wands. It can definitely represent conflict, drama, and things like that. But for some of you, it's like we sometimes have to get put into uncomfortable situations in order to push us, in order for that to be the catalyst to push us out of our comfort zone, or push us out of a situation that we essentially have gotten too comfortable in, right? Especially if it's one that you're not being treated properly, or, you know, being compensated fairly, things like that. Sometimes you need those challenges in order to get you to take action, you know, towards what you really want, towards the life that you know that you have the potential to live. Okay, and that's what I feel like is really happening here, where you guys are now taking action, you know, in ways that maybe people are like, you know, trying to compete with you, because it's showing them where they're not changing. It's showing them, you know, what's possible, but where they haven't taken action, right? So you guys may be getting met with challenges right now. Okay, but ultimately you need to know that you're in your power. Okay, so, and you will, right? Whether you see it or not, you will be victorious at the end of the day. I just need y'all to know that. So how this is benefiting the Aries, we have appreciation, 15, and card 5, growth. So 2 5s here. So yeah, I really feel like this is, it's growing you guys in such a way where at the end of the day, you're going to really learn and have a great appreciation, not only for yourself, how far you've come, and not giving up, but appreciation for all the challenges that you've experienced. Even if they're difficult, I feel like some of you are gonna very soon see why things had to happen the way they did, because it's like you're gonna see like, damn, had I not experienced that, I would not be here. Had I not got fired, I would not have started my own business and then ultimately grew into all the success that I'm now experiencing. Like for some of you, that's kind of like what you're on the brink of here, where especially like for those of you that have like been thinking like, God, I want to start my own business, but I can't because XYZ, or because, you know, like being scared. For some of you, it's kind of like a fear of the unknown, the fear of like, well, what if I quit my job and start my own business and then I don't get no clients and I don't get paid, and then how am I going to live? How am I going to continue to pay my bills and things like that? But for some of you, it's like you're going to see how this was really ultimately growing you, how you actually have been ready for this. You've been prepared and being kind of like molded, so to speak, for this opportunity. So I feel like some of you are really going to see very soon, Aries, how this was ultimately helping you, how it was ultimately showing you how far you've come, you know, all the work you have been doing, and that you're fully capable and ready for this next chapter. Okay, so clarifying, that is the Hangman. Okay, I feel like it's definitely helping you guys see things from a different perspective. I also feel like it's helping you ultimately, you know, give up things that don't work. For some of you, it's connections that just, you know, throw your energy off. For others of you, it's you know, like I said, a job that maybe you've been in too long that you're not able to be as creative, or maybe your opinions aren't valued, you know, different things like that. Some of you, it's like this is ultimately helping you see your life from a different lens, but also your challenges from a different lens as well. Some of you, like I said, it's ultimately helping you give up things that no longer serve you. And look, we have the World again. So let me just, you know, two major arcana clarifying each other, the Hangman and the World. So from two different decks. And we also saw the World here as well, okay, underneath the Tower. So this is, like I said, major endings ultimately for you to have a new beginning. Okay, it's like a cycle had to close. You guys had to, you know, give something up. This had to be released in order to close out a cycle once and for all, in order for you to make the room to start a new one. Okay, so I feel like some of you, this is going to help you appreciate the things that have ended. And those of you who have like been, you know, guided to give up certain things, to surrender, whether it's connections, habits, beliefs, different ways, you know, maybe certain routines that you guys have had. I feel like some of you, this is also going to help you appreciate yourself in trusting what you're being guided to do, because now you're going to start seeing how this is ultimately paying off for you. How it was like, damn, I'm glad I listened to myself about this, because had I not done that, I wouldn't be here. This all wouldn't be coming together the way it is. Okay, so now how this is challenging you is that we have 26 hostilities and 40 darkness. So I really feel like, Aries, you guys may be feeling challenged at this time during the season, okay? And like I said, the season that we're talking about is the current winter season that we're in, which started on December 21st with the winter solstice, and that goes till the spring solstice, which is March 19th. So I feel like some of you, this may be challenging you, because some of you may have people that are coming against you, people that are maybe questioning your motives, questioning, you know, what you're doing, what you're planning, you know, so if you quit, what are you going to do? Like, it's like people are trying to make you question yourself. Okay. And I feel like some of you, it is challenging you because you're like, I don't know, but I'm being guided to do this, and I need to honor what I'm being guided to do, and trust that if the universe is, you know, stirring things up or making this happen, I need to believe in myself enough to know that I'll be okay, right? That I'm always provided for, that I have all the energy, knowledge, you know, everything I need ultimately to, you know, take action, right? Regardless of the challenges that come my way, okay? Regardless of the people that are trying to, you know, compete with me, cause drama, to throw you off. I feel like some of you, it's like, it's going to look dark. It may feel dark. Okay. But you have to also know that, you know, the darkness only lasts for a certain period of time, right? Before the sun comes back out. So just know that's the same as life. Okay. So how this is challenging you, diving a little bit further into something, is definitely ending. So like I said, some of you, this could definitely represent a job. Okay. Getting laid off suddenly, unexpectedly, getting fired, for, you know, and it's like, without really justifiable cause, right? So for some of you, like for example, say you got fired and they didn't have a good reason and that wasn't part of your contract, right? So for some of you, you may end up being able to sue or something like that, or something may turn in your favor in such a way where you may get compensated without having to go back. Meaning you get paid out, you know, all this money, right? To then start your own business without having to go back to a job where you weren't wanted in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So for some of you, it's like you just don't know how this might ultimately transpire for your benefit. So I just, you know, highly recommend being open, okay, to whatever may be playing out at this time, even if it feels dark, even if you feel really conflicted, okay, even if people are trying to come at you or, you know, try to throw you off your path for what the decisions that some of you are being guided to make at this time. It's like you just need to trust your path is different. Your path may look dark at this time, but you also know that you're being guided, you are being protected, and it's ultimately helping you grow, okay? And you will, I feel like I said, a lot of you, this is what's benefiting you, is that it's not only growing you, it's not only helping you evolve and elevate and expand, but it's also giving you a greater appreciation for your journey, for your path, and how far you've come, okay? So clarifying the Ten of Swords, we have the Page of Coins. So like I said, it's like some of you don't realize that as soon as something ends, something else begins, okay? Literally closing one door to open up another one, okay? This is something that you guys have maybe been recently studying or going to school for, where you got fired right on the tail end of, you know what, I got a new job because I just graduated. Like I just graduated, and you get hired. Like some of you, even if it's not anything about school, for some of you, it's just a matter of the universe shaking things up and making something fall, because you learned essentially everything you could learn from a situation. And so that's a cycle that needed to close. It was time. Some of you may have been avoiding it though. And so that's the universe essentially kind of like kicking you out and pushing you out of the nest, so to speak, right, into this new journey. So it's like, had this not ended, you wouldn't have, you know, been positioned to get something new right on the tail end of that. So it's like for some of you, like I was saying, you may be like suddenly, for example, getting fired from a job. No, I'm not trying to manifest this, is just what's coming to me right now. But some of you, for example, if that's the case, it's like you get fired and then it's like you put in an application and you get hired literally like the next day or within a couple days, where it's like there really isn't no time. There's really no time lapse from one opportunity to the next. Okay, so how this is playing out is the Three of Wands. Some of you have been asking for this, low key, you know, and it's ultimately, you know, bringing you what you wanted, whether you realize it or not. So for some of you, for example, it's showing you how powerful you are, okay? Meaning that if, for example, you've been like, God, I'm sick of this job. I'm so fucking tired. I'm ready to leave. I need a break, blah, blah. This is your break where you're getting let go of completely, right? And we don't always realize how powerful our words are, but that's essentially us casting spells over our own life. That's how powerful your words are. So I feel like for some of you, it's teaching you to not only be mindful with what you ask the universe for, but it also shows you that if I could do this to myself, right, what else can I actually manifest that I do want, that is in alignment with what's best for me ultimately, right? I feel like some of you, it's really showing you how powerful you are. It's giving you an opportunity to really go towards something or pursue something that you actually want, that actually is in alignment with your ultimate path, okay? So clarifying the Three of Wands, we have the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Staffs, and the Three of Coins, okay? So I feel like 33 here. I feel like for some of you, this is something you've been working towards. It's finally growing, but you had to leave. Something needed to end first to release the energy to make something else grow, okay? So like say, for example, you were at a job, right? And you've been trying to grow a side business, and the side business hasn't been doing that great. And so it's been difficult for you to be like, well, I can't quit my job because I'm not getting anything here, right? But that energy needed to be, you know what I'm saying, transmuted. It needed to be released. The resistance there needed to be let go of and surrendered, right? Hangman, we needed to let that go and completely, you know, dissolve in order to allow this new beginning, okay? And that's what I feel like is happening for you guys, is, you know, your resilience is essentially paying off. You not giving up on yourself, you're being rewarded, where now you're actually finally starting to see the growth. Whatever you've been working on, whatever you've been asking for, is like that energy is finally, you know, been let go of, to where you maybe have started trusting the universe, believing in yourself again, to where now it's like ultimately bringing in growth that you've been looking for, because you didn't quit, because you didn't give up, because you stayed steadfast as best as you can. The universe is ultimately like paying you for that, so to speak, if that makes sense, okay? That's beautiful, Aries. It really is. It's like you guys aren't really seeing yet that, you know, what's on the tail end of this. For some of you, with this woman holding a coin, okay, for some of you, this is some type of victory, getting a message from someone who wants to pay you for your services, or who wants to like buy a whole year's worth of whatever it is you offer, okay? This could definitely be someone, like I said, that offers you a job where it's like, I lost one and literally the next day someone called me and I didn't even put in an application. I've heard stories like that. So I'm just saying, Aries, allow this time, allow it to show you how good it can get without you even having to put in a lot of effort, okay? Just please keep your faith in the right place, okay? Because like I said, look, crown chakra, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. If you've been calling on Archangel Uriel, even if you haven't, this archangel is helping you right now. So sending you downloads, sending you messages from the ethers. So it's going to be important for you, but this is also about trusting the process, trusting what you cannot see at this time, even if it's challenging, because that's where it's showing up here. It's challenging, where some of you, it's hard to see or believe, you know, that you'll be okay. But I really feel like some of you need to know, again, how powerful you are. With the mirror and the magician, this is just mirroring back to you your strength, mirroring back to you, you know, the thoughts and actions, things that you think, the things that you do. It all matters. It all plays a part. So I feel like whatever it is that you've been asking for is essentially manifesting here. It's just important for you to continue to move forward, you know, because you're so close. You're almost there, right? Whatever you've been working towards is finally growing. Whatever decision you're making, it's going to work. It's going to, you know, bear fruit. But it's just a matter, like I said, of you, you know, trusting yourself enough to go for it. Okay, because the 3 of Wands, it can definitely represent your ships coming in, manifestations, things, you know, coming towards you that you've been asking for. But it's also because it's a wand that represents action. Okay, so it means that you made the decision with the 2 of Wands. You chose the path that you're going to take, and this is actually going towards the path, taking whatever action steps is necessary, right? Putting things out there, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, but not giving up, and then ultimately seeing growth in the end of that. Okay, because this is your outcome energy, right? So I feel like whatever, you just need to know that whatever it is that you're working towards, you are about to see, you are about to see fruits from your labor. You just have to keep going and not quit. Okay, so advice from your spirit guides, we have between worlds and flexible. Yes, so this is spirit reminding you guys that you guys are in this energy right now of leaving behind old life to step into a new one. Okay, so it's important for you guys to be flexible at this time, meaning, you know, like the trees, they bend, they don't break. Meaning when the wind blows hard, they do their best to stay strong, right? They don't let their branches break off for the, you know, for the most part, you know, let's be real. But for the most part, you be as strong as you possibly can through the challenges, through the shifts, because you guys are in this in-between space of leaving one reality behind to step into a new one, especially one that has been dark, like we were just talking about here with the darkness. It may feel really dark right now, but just know on the other side of that is so much brighter. So it's just a matter of, you won't know that though if you quit. You won't know that unless you keep going. Okay, so you're really being asked at this time to really be flexible, Aries, and, you know, do your best to navigate the challenges as they come, knowing, you know, that I'm powerful enough. I have all I need to overcome, to accomplish, to conquer. Okay, so I am seeing the numbers 5, 26, 40, 19, 3, 4, major changes. Okay, these are, like I said, are things that you've been co-creating with spirit. Okay, those numbers may be of significance. They could also be life path numbers. They may be numbers that you're seeing frequently as synchronicities to let you know, like, you're on the right path. Things are happening very quickly. You just need to keep going. It's not the time to quit. Okay, so Aries, that's what I have for you. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I'd really appreciate if you smash that like button. Subscribe if you have not, and until next time, you guys.